Hello, welcome back to Golden Arrow. Last episode we started with the final world, and yeah, we are at level 3 now. This looks like it's gonna be quite a big one from what we saw last episode. Also, it looks like progression is strictly linear in this world, so I can't move on if I can't solve level 3, which means that this is a pretty crucial point in the game. We have to like succeed wherever we go, otherwise we are just not gonna make it forward. So yeah, let's see how it is. Alright, music is back on. Can't zoom in, so I'm actually forced to be in this view. Alright. So what did we realize last time? I think last time we figured out the biggest problem that we have was unraveling this. It's gonna be pretty hard to keep the red arrow up and we let it fall. It being here is kind of a big problem. I've tried a few ways. I've tried, just letting it fall and trying to bypass it. I've tried holding it up with something, but currently I don't know what it could be held up with. It just seems like the pathway taken by gold is just really specific. It's so specific, it basically steps wherever every arrow is. So every arrow has to be out of the way at some point. Which is kind of a problem. But, possibly one we could, try and resolve. I'm thinking because this is a big loop, right? We can have exactly one blockage somewhere. Like, I suppose in theory that blockage could be like here. But I do notice that like this arrow might become a blockage up here, which makes the fact that a red arrow is here a little bit more okay, I suppose. But not really. Yeah, not really. This isn't really a good area. I say this is a good area. I think this arrow falling is actually fine. And there's a certain reason for that. It is because that we can still enter from here. Meaning that if the red arrow falls there, we're not necessarily gone. Which means that we can actually move here to open up this area. Although I might not want to do that yet. I might want to do that later on. Because I don't know. This place is just really blocked off anyway. So maybe I do want to do that eventually. Although I find it very interesting that... Well... Oh, I do need to wrap around. I have to deal with that. Huh. I have to deal with that problem. Interesting. And by deal with that problem, I mean like actually deal with that problem. If I just let it fall, then yeah, I can leave an open space, but this falling is actually really bad. Not many places have like 3 entrances along their line. Like this top row only has 2 entrances. This side here has 3 entrances as well. So in theory, I could block one of them off, and we might still be fine. Like for example, I don't know. For example, we could block this off, and we would still have access to 2 entrances, and 2 entrances is really crucial because it lets me like enter from one and then push out from the other. But this top row only has 2 entrances, so does the bottom row. And if that's the case, then like it's really hard to do anything without any blockage at all. Like that's kind of what the problem is, right? I need to be able to push this over to the right, I think. But if I was supposed to be able to do that, then like it's very clear that I can't just do this. I'm blocked otherwise. This purple arrow isn't really helping. I can't push you out anymore. This block is gonna be in the way as well. Like unless I could have moved all these arrows out of the way. Maybe purple arrow being down here is okay. Can sort of see what might be useful here. But it doesn't really look very good, honestly. But that leads us to like I don't know what that leads us to. It's just a lot of impossibilities going on. It definitely looks like a move that I want is this move, but like that's definitely also bad. So like, how in the world to do anything afterwards? I think we managed to like somewhat untangle the green and blue arrows, somewhat. So like by moving around like this, I can create a couple balances that can sort of like fit into this space that I will no longer really need. There's still a lot of movement here and there though. But like, I feel like another issue is that this is slowly becoming one of those puzzles where it looks like you can't do anything, but there's one very secret mechanic that's supposed to allow you to do something. Also, like, doing this kind of doesn't really work very well. You kind of get green stuck as well, honestly, if you try and do this. In theory, this is fine because, like, if a red arrow is up there, then green arrow being here doesn't change anything. Which means this appears fine, but, like, there's obvious reasons as to why this wouldn't appear fine. Because now, with gold up there, how am I going to push it back down? I just cannot. We definitely need this to be cleared. So red arrow just can't go up there at all. And if red arrow can't go up there, that leaves me with exactly one option. Right? But isn't that option also really bad? That option loses even faster. That option doesn't even let us push golden arrow. Like, another way I could do this is clear out this area. Yeah, okay, I suppose one thing I can do... Possibly. If I push this arrow, it kind of gets a bit stuck. Okay. Well, I wanted you out first. Doesn't this lose as well? I can't change anything about this. I could have pushed it up, so like this still works. So now we have something a little better. The reason why that was fine is so that I can like do... It's like so I can make a empty little like column here that lets me do stuff. But another problem is that like these purples are like in the way. And they'll sort of always be in the way. Although I guess not necessarily. If we no longer need this column, then I can just shove all the purples in here and we should be absolutely fine. Not if they fall down here though, I guess. Yeah, but like that's bad, right? Isn't that kind of bad? The entire point is that I want an empty column here, but like this just doesn't... I mean, technically this is fine. I guess it looks fine. But is it really fine? It doesn't look that fine. Yeah, that blocks stuff. I mean, yeah, that looks somewhat okay. Could I get the block out of the way so it doesn't like do anything stupid? I think the answer might be yes. Here and then another one here. Actually gives us some movement. That's quite cool, I think. I can just shove the arrows in here because we'll never use this bottom area again. No, we will. We have to push up here. So actually this is kind of bad. Wait, doesn't that mean that we have to... Wait, what? Okay, so maybe only one arrow? Wait, no. This is equally bad. I suppose maybe like... So, just one thing I can do right now is sort of use the purple arrows as like a way to hold up a blue arrow. The reason why this is okay, I think, is perhaps because it lets us do other things. Right now, the difficulty next is to get purple arrows to be not blocking the way for this push. We know eventually there must be a push up, so purple still can't land in here yet until the up push is done. And until the up push is done, the purples kind of have to be just out of the way. I'm not entirely sure where I can store purples to prevent that from happening. It might have to be... Well, I mean, where could it be? I don't know where I could put these arrows. I mean, this looks bad, right? Because... Yeah, if I could have one arrow be in this position, like that position is really good. It's completely non-intrusive. But no other position can I store exactly one other arrow. So like, I can store one arrow here. This arrow... I might have a bit more trouble dealing with, but... This already looks somewhat better. In fact... well, this doesn't really work because pushing over causes purple to fall in. And that is a blocking, right? Yeah. Could I maybe get some sort of like... Where else could purple be? Purple could be anywhere on this line, honestly. Could I get that to happen? It is a bit difficult because like if I did want that to happen, right? I don't think I can do it with this purple. I think it has to be with this one. And then this red is just very stuck. It's not gonna work. I made that move. I wanted this move. I was wondering if I could like hold up an arrow. At this point. I don't think so. Like... I feel like I'm making a bit of progress. Maybe a certain arrow here has to be like helping out. Blue actually being in there afterwards is okay, right? So like, if purple can be stored there, then so can blue. It's equal. It's equally good or bad. Maybe something can happen with purple here. I don't know what kind of setup that would necessarily require though. And like, this is bad, so I sort of have to do this. Yeah, that leads me to the exact same issue. I suppose another thing I could technically try is taking this... If I took this middle route, then like nothing can be here, which is kind of bad, but like eventually I have to take... As far as blocked. Can I avoid that being blocked? Can I clear this exact spot? Is there any way I could do that? I don't know how I would do that though. That just seems pretty bad. If I could push this balance up without getting this stuck there, then it might be okay. Although I don't really see what the difference is. Yeah, I don't really see what the difference is, huh? This might be bad. I think it is bad. Although maybe not. I don't know, there are a lot of places I can store things, but... I don't think that's it. If this had been on top of a block, would that have helped? I don't think so. What am I doing here, honestly? What am I doing here? Can I push the block down? I don't think I can push the block down. Like, it's very hard to get the block into here with this entire column still intact. It seems fairly challenging. Is that good? Would that have been useful? Could that have been useful? Could this arrow have been useful? I keep asking that question, but I feel like the answer is no. Maybe not though. Maybe there's a reason this exists. But if I can't get to the other side, it's gonna be very challenging. This really shouldn't be that hard. Like, what's the problem here? I'm not like really looking at this right, am I? I don't want red there. I feel like that we're stuck with two options, but none of these options look good. There's something else I need to be able to do. Something else that I am able to do this. I'm just not doing it. If I could have got the purple on this side, that might actually have been fine, you know? There's one problem. If I want to get something here, it probably has to be this blue arrow. But how do I separate it from the green arrow so the green arrow doesn't fall here? Is green arrow falling there fine? It might be fine, honestly. If purple is... I mean, purple being here means it's still releasable. Like, you can still drop it down here, and then you could release this area. Although I might not need that with the fact that this area becomes accessible as well. That's really interesting, I guess. So, alright, let's do this. This. I want to push you here. Then push everything up. Here. Not that high. I think green can fall there, honestly. I think that's okay. Although I'm not entirely sure that is okay or not. This push becomes possible. And so everything's out of the way. I can do that. Blue can go there, it's fine. And I think I can push off this purple, so now this entire column has been blocked. And will be blocked, so it's whatever. Yeah, that's fine as well. That's fine as well. In fact, can I also put something here? Isn't that also okay? Ooh, no, we're not done. The last step is hard. There's one more step that we need to do, which is to push this way. And that means that... What does that mean? That channel could never have been built? Huh, interesting. But like, that should be okay, right? If I can get blue out of the way. And blue can get out of the way. It's a very easy way to dump blue somewhere else. I think. Actually, that might not be a very easy way to dump blue somewhere else. Blue might have to be dumped there or not dumped at all. Because how am I going to get blue to be dumped in a good spot? Well, blue can be dumped in a good spot if purple were holding it up. Look at that. Yeah, right? And so... This lets me dump blue there. But I need to be able to push up first, so what I want to do is, I think I want to do this. Green can go there, green can hide inside, it's whatever. The blues are not a big problem. But honestly, I think if purple were pushed to this position, I can get rid of both blues. They just have to be pushing in the right order. So like, this should be fine. Yeah, I think we have it. Wow, what a development. And we shouldn't be missing any movement, right? Yeah, we should have like a very clear set of alleys that we can push through. It's just a very tedious walk because like all the shortcuts have been blocked off. And this should be fine. We can just clear out this by pushing away. Wow, what a move. What a puzzle. Jeez. Alright, more of these alley shenanigan. Green arrow goes there. We have a portal now. Yeah, look at this. So many walls. There's so little to exit out here. Is this a one-way gate? That's a one-way gate there. I'm not entirely sure if I can avoid that. I suppose I can if I put like a good enough... If that was a good enough balance. Like the only way... Okay, this is not a good way out. Because that definitely 100% blocks the portal. However, I suppose if I left... Oh, okay. So I can only leave... Wait. Yeah, I need to leave through the portal, huh? Okay. I can't do this because I can't leave through the portal. So I need to be able to let the... Can I zoom in first? I can't zoom in. I need to be able to let the purple arrow be on a balance so that I can push green there. Then enter through the portal to push green down. And that's like the only way I can really do it right now. I can push golden this way, up this way, over this way, then up this way. Looks like a very, how do I say this? A series of very tight, small little puzzles, so we should be okay. I can hold... Oh, no. I need to do it the other way around, huh? Okay. I'm gonna put blue on a block there first. Green is fine. So this should set up a good balance. That's a good balance. And I can do this and leave. I couldn't have done anything down here before, so this is like the start of the next puzzle now. However, what I can do is I can leave here and maneuver stuff around. I can always leave and come back and push down this way. So I could have played around with stuff here beforehand. Also, I need to clear out this area eventually. This push to get to this area is necessary though. I don't know if this is fine, but this definitely blocks the way, so I would say it's not. Eventually these two blocks can fall up to these two positions, which means the golden arrow can be here and I can push it over. So maybe I want to do that. Is that good? There's a green arrow there that's kind of blocking the way. How could I have done anything about that? Isn't this forced? And like, isn't this breaking? So isn't this then forced? I can get you out of the way, sure, but... I mean, the green arrow is also going to be stuck behind the golden arrow. Unless I can somehow... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Alright, this is like a pretty big issue. The big issue being... It's gonna be quite a problem if I have to restart all the time. Okay. Like, doing this to mess around doesn't look good at all. Because it just gets more objects in the way. And like, if I want to take this area... If I want to get golden arrow through this area, there can only be two things that's pushed up. So I feel like I just cannot mess with this from here. It has to be from the other side. Maybe this block is useful. Is this block useful? Right? I can actually move the block over. Is there any reason why I would like to do that? Doesn't look like it. Can I do anything else? I mean, technically, yeah, right? Like, I could also get, you know, this arrow to go in to get in. There you go. In fact, I think that was actually useful. That might be useful for the last puzzle, but that didn't really help. Green arrow getting in here is actually kind of a problem as well, but I think I did one blue arrow here. It's just so I can like sort of extend this to a bigger L shape to push golden up by 1. Blue would then fall out of the way and I could just push gold in. If gold were here, it would be kind of a problem because this thing, when pushed up, would not be long enough to push gold into a good spot. So I think I need a blue there, so I guess this is a good move on my part. Still does not help us with this area though. What do I need for this area? Is the block useful? The block can be extracted, which is interesting. The other block can also be extracted. You can extract like 2 blocks from here. Maybe the purple arrow if you try hard enough. I think yeah, you can actually extract the purple arrow out as well. Of course, before all of this, I would need to move the green arrow out of the way, which is done like so. But yeah, in theory, I can also retrieve the purple arrow. Although I don't entirely know why I would like to do that. I suppose, yeah, if I... Oops. Got you here. Then yeah, I could actually get purple arrow through. Maybe that's useful. Do I want to do that? Ah, that blocks the portal. Okay, never mind. It actually blocks the portal pretty badly, so maybe I don't want that. But once again, I can actually use this block. Is there any reason why I want to do that? That just breaks a lot of things, doesn't it? Yeah, it breaks a lot of things. What else could I do? Like, this just looks so bad. Actually, I can't leave from here, which is interesting, but yeah. I mean, this looks forced, but I can't say for sure that it is. I can't say for sure that that's forced. But like, is this retrievable? No, I don't think it is. Ah, jeez. Okay, got another problem then. Like, would any other arrow help me out here? I don't think so. It's just, this seems bad. This seems impossible to resolve. Could I have left earlier on? Oh, this is yes, actually. I could have left earlier on to, like, maneuver with that. Okay. In that case... I think I did this for a wrong way. In that case, I want to do that first. I want to leave before the golden arrow. I can do that. So I can leave here and maneuver stuff here. Alright. I didn't realize that was available. That's actually really bad. I want to do the other way around. Here first, this out of the way. Does that count as out of the way? I don't quite think it does. If I push it from above, it will fall into there. Also, that this arrow is a problem, but I think pushing this gets it out. It does. Okay. So we can do this now to get you out of the way. We also push this back in. Should I want to do that? Maybe. I remember this being necessary. I remember this being necessary. Okay. I think that means we might be done. Arrows fall. But however, this push gets gold up there, blue gets out of the way, push up. There you go. Cool. Alright. Very interesting move. That's a dead end, I think. That's a pretty bad dead end, actually. I need to be able to leave at this point, but there's no way to leave here. If I could get here... I mean, if I could have access to this portal, I think I'll be done. But there's very obviously no real way to access the portal right now. Oops. Oh! Okay, something really weird just happened. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, oh, my bad. Alright, let's just take a little peek at this one. We kind of overrun a little bit. Oh, we're not overrunning, but I think we're about to overrun if we keep trying to solve this puzzle. So let's not do that. Again, if I had access to these portals, I would be done because I could push up, portal, and then push over, and I'll be completely done. Entering the portal at any part here will be fine by me, honestly. I wonder what this is all about. Why does this exist if it looks like it's only there to block us? Is it ever maneuverable? Like, why does that block exist anyway? I don't know. I think it might be to be able to push stuff upwards, maybe? Even though it really just acts as a block. Why don't you just put more walls in here then? It seems like at some point I'm supposed to be able to enter this area. Or exit this area, whichever is more useful to me. But pushing as hard as possible. I suppose if I had an object in here, maybe like a down arrow. Ooh, yeah, maybe a down arrow. Ah, okay. So down arrow falling here makes like an S shape, and then by pushing up, I can push the golden arrow into place. It's actually really good because it blocks the portal, so like entering here also isn't really a problem. I can just push right. Okay. So next goal is to maybe hold red arrow up here. That will not only let me push you over, but also let me exit. I might need... No. I was thinking blue arrow here, because I need to be able to stand in this spot. So like maybe blue arrow, maybe green arrow here, but that doesn't look very good. Although I have a green arrow here. I have this entire top area that I haven't really messed around with. There's purple arrow, which is long for some reason. If purple arrow got here, I could theoretically push the entire thing up to make an S shape. But that wouldn't really be useful. Also, green arrow. What is this green arrow doing? And why is it here? Can I use this to hold up something? Maybe? Maybe I can. Okay, I need to determine the significance of this purple arrow first, because this purple arrow is definitely long for a reason. The other arrows, they have purposes that I don't yet know about, so let's not try and think about them. I guess it's interesting because purple arrow also can't leave. You see, all of these are just single width hallways. Alleys, actually. This world seems to do a lot of alleys. It's like a lot of like these constrained areas. I think it's true even for levels 1 and 2. Level 2 had like this elevator that was technically just an alley with pushable blocks in it. But I don't quite see... There's a very large amount of balance here, but why do I want purple? What can purple help me with? Purple can really only extend to the bottom area by a shape like this, or a shape like this. I think a shape like this is more helpful. But if we were to picture that, what could that be holding up? I would say... If you want to comply with this thing... I would say it could hold up a blue arrow here. In theory. Okay, I'm gonna push you down here first. Push you over so you fall. I don't know what these other arrows are for, but... Like, that looks maybe okay. I don't know why... purple arrow could also be here, but that looks a lot less useful. I want an end arrow to eventually hold you up, but like, what arrow could it even be? It definitely can't be a down arrow. Best guess is a green arrow. Not a green arrow, a blue arrow. But even then... Like, how will the blue arrow... How would that... How would I hold you up? Like, it really is blue arrow here, or green arrow here if I could get any of that to happen. But green arrow here is kind of tough to work with. How do I get a green arrow there? Well, I could get 2 green arrows, one here and then one here. And that would actually be good enough to hold red up. So maybe that's the goal. Maybe the goal is to just escort all the green arrows. I can actually see that happening, really. But the problem is that I don't know how I would get the green arrows through this middle column. Like, I could lift you up and then, like, you need to be helped by something so I can push over. Oh, push downwards. But white can even hold on to you along this path. Purple wouldn't fit. Blue doesn't really work because blue has to be underneath you, which there's no real space to like, you know, maneuver that. Red is a good idea actually. If red could be like, I see like a pretty interesting. Oh, there's a block here. Wait, that's really useful. There's a block there, huh? Why have I never noticed that? I don't know. But there's a block there. Okay. See if I can get the block out first. I'm gonna try this. Block does not want to be here, I don't think. Block wants to go through the column here. Okay. I wonder if this red arrow is useful. Like, I'm thinking that the red arrow might have to be, like, here. Do as a balance. Or, like, block here, red arrow here. Right? Seems good. I don't know what purple is doing then. Because purple doesn't seem to be that useful in this plan. Maybe purple's point is to block us. If that is the case, then purple is being very mean to us right now. Okay. I want to be able to move you out of the way. The goal is to attempt to push the block down without purple covering up the hole. Maybe purple will fall here. Yeah, maybe purple will fall there. That is like a very good way of disposing it. This is not good, is it? It doesn't help me with anything. Okay. I think we have to move these guys around. Doesn't break anything for now. I suppose that looks okay. That's a break? That's a break, yes. But okay, that's slightly better, I think. I think this actually works. So now I can do this and get this block out. I kind of wanted red to be on here first, so let's see if I can pull that off. Okay, this looks potentially okay. Potentially okay, but I kind of wanted a block. So let's do this to get purple up. Purple is held up. This makes purple fall back down. That's kind of an issue. Okay. I wanted the block to be underneath of red though. That is starting to become like a big problem that I can't really resolve. I was thinking like... what? What have I done? I've locked myself in. Let's go back. I was thinking perhaps... yeah, at this point in time there could have been something generative. Or something productive. Maybe blue can get out of the way right now. I don't think blue had anything to do with this entire setup. Which means I could just push the purple all the way to the side. Like that. But that's kind of also a problem. I don't like that. Let's get you there first. That's interesting. I'll push you up here. You are now imbalanced with green. I don't even know how that happened. That's not good. That's okay. If I could get this to happen elsewhere, that would be very nice, but it's okay. It's a fall. Yikes. Yeah, if I could get this setup to happen one to the right, that would be very nice because it would let me push the block and red down in order. So could that happen here? Yes, if you were here, this would create a balance. And then... actually, what does it help me with? I want to get the block in, so let's try that. Block here. Okay, that looks good. It looks very good. Right. Hmm. I mean, this is also fine, yeah. Okay, so I can do this. I can push up. Ah, what? No. Wait. How did I... Okay, so... Do I not want these guys to come out in order? I get the block out now. The block is actually free to go out. That's a balance. Maybe that's okay. I don't quite see it being that okay. If purple was not in the way, that might be fine. Alright, let's try and get the block back in. I want to get purple out of the way now. Can purple please fall? Okay. This will cause purple to fall, I believe. Yes. Can push... Ooh. Don't like that. I don't like that at all. I think blue might not have wanted to be stuck there. I think blue is actually kind of a problem. Blue, you probably shouldn't be in that corner. You probably should be like further to the left. I would say. I would like you to be further left, please. When did blue fall? Why did blue fall so long ago? Yikes. I can't just push blue away, so like we definitely have liberty, or sorry, we definitely have the ability to push blue wherever we want in some way here, I think. Oh, come on. When did you fall? Yes, there you are. Okay. So yeah, see, I could have pushed blue this way. I mean, would this have lost us? Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Block out of the way. I believe this should keep purple there. Can hold purple up like that on top of red. Block goes through, which gives me ability to push you out, and you will fall in there. And this is actually really good because I can enter here and leave without any issues at all. Green might not have wanted to be here though, so let's see if I can get green to be in a more useful position for now. Get green here. I want to reset it. I want to reset this thing. How do I do this? Right. That's a balance. I think that's fine. I don't quite remember if it was fine or not. How do I do this? How do I do this? When green was down there... Yeah, right, block was out of the way, right. How did I get purple to balance on top? Right, I pulled it up from here. But that pull won't be available anymore. Because green's in the way. How awkward. That green's the one causing trouble now. Okay, where did green want to be then? Where could green have been? Here? Wasn't that kind of the issue to begin with? I think it was, right? Yeah, this was the issue that... Yeah, green had to be there. If green was somewhere else, maybe that would be nicer. Where could green have been? That's not good. Dang. Okay. Green... Green has a couple options for now. Let's put green there. I think green being there might be okay. Okay. Let's push this here. I'll do, well, I wanted to do this, but like, that's definitely a problem now. Although... Yeah, that is a problem now, because like, this won't help me. I need to clear out this block. Alright, that looks... Looks questionable. I keep getting things stuck. That's not good either. Like, I feel like we're back to our original setup here. Maybe that's good. Maybe that's good. Here, here, here. Okay. That's good. Okay, okay. Focus out of the way. Green is generally out of the way. In fact, green can be out of the way if I did this. Purple can now fall with little to no trouble. Okay. Cool. Yeah, this green is kind of stuck in here now, huh? How was that? How would I get that out? Oh my goodness. Did green have to be in balance with blue at this point? Maybe. Alright, you know what? I kind of spent a bit too long on this. I'll try and figure this out eventually, but for now, I don't think I'm gonna try and work this out anymore. I'll work on this next episode and we'll see what we can get from there. So yeah, until next time, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.